One of the ways you actually can save a sinking ship in FPL is by using your wildcard, and in today's video I've decided to use my wildcard. So I'll be showing you 3 wildcard teams. The one I have decided to go with, a Haaland and Salah wildcard team I believe you should be interested in, and a wildcard team that includes Alexander Isak. As we all know, Ekitike is on a red card and will be out for game week 6, which means that Isak is going to be playing, starting and finishing that game. Isak is also a player you might want to consider going forward, as he probably will be the person that starts ahead of Ekitike. So I just decided to do a wildcard team just in case you're interested in seeing how to fit Alexander Isak into a premium side. If you've liked what you've seen so far, or you're excited about what you're about to see, please hit that like button and subscribe, and let's go straight into the reason why I'm using my wildcard in the first place. So I've been putting off my wildcard, I've been making transfers, taking -4s. I took -4s just so I didn't use my wildcard, but enough is enough, and sometimes you should just know when to just drop it all and just use your wildcard. My preferred rule is if you feel like there are 5 players you need to change in your team, then you need a wildcard, and in this case I needed more than 5 at some point because Watkins and Rogers have just been stinking up the place for me, and it's not been funny at all. In this particular match, they not only stunk up the place, Kukurea was on a 0-pointer, Van de Ven on a 1-pointer, and Munoz on a 1-pointer, Sales on a 1-pointer as well. The only people that turned up for me was Salah and Semenyo, and they both got just 5 points. So Salah, being my captain, got 10 points and Mateta got a 6-pointer. Reinders goes ahead and gets a 9-pointer on my bench. I mean, like, everything happened. But let's go into my wildcard team for game week 6 and let me tell you the cheap strategies I have behind that team. So going into my team for game week 6, I have Donnarumma in goal. This is mainly because he plays Burnley. I could have gone with Raya because Raya actually has Newcastle. Just said to go with Donnarumma because everyone has Raya, and I'm not really trying to have a template team, which is also one reason why I don't have Ndai, because everyone has Ndai in their teams. But Donnarumma is the guy I'm picking, and he has Burnley, Brentford and Everton. Those are pretty good fixtures. So because I'm picking Donnarumma, I've decided to double up on the Arsenal defense. I went with Gabriel and Timber. They have Newcastle, West Ham and Fulham. Their games from game week 7 are actually relatively better. So I decided to actually get my team for wildcard in 6, then bench boost in 7, which is why I have a team like this, which is why I have Arsenal players from Saka, Gabriel and Timber. Along the line I might make substitutions, but that's what we're rocking with for now. Van de Ven and Senesi really speak for themselves. To be honest, I like Tottenham's fixtures going forward. Right now they play Wolves, and in game week 7 and 8 they play Leeds and Aston Villa. So because of those fixtures and because of how they've been playing, Senesi Defcon monster and Van de Ven value for money option, I'm gladly going to take it. Saka explains himself, to be honest. He's back from injury, played against Port Vale today. I'm happy about that. Got some fitness in. I prefer Saka over Palmer and Fernandes, even though Fernandes is probably the only other player I would have picked. It's just because he's on penalties and he starts and plays 90 minutes in every game. I'm not just fond of Amorim and how Manchester United as a whole are playing, even though they've had the hardest start and had the highest XG. It's just not translating, and because of that I feel like it will affect Bruno Fernandes, even though he hasn't. But I'm really happy with Saka. I'll probably stick with him, and if I wanted to actually move to Bruno Fernandes, he's a placeholder for that. Xavi Simons is a player that no one's really talking about. He played his first game, got a 6-pointer, and his second game he came off the bench. But in general, he's been playing all the set pieces, been looking really explosive. He's one of those players that came into the Premier League, not like Florian Wirtz. He came into the Premier League and is showing himself, and they have a good run of games coming forward. Tottenham have, like I said, Wolves, Leeds and Aston Villa. So because of those fixtures, I just have to have him. Semenyo, if you don't know why you don't have Semenyo at this point, I really don't know what to say to you. Reinders, because he's been starting for every game under Pep Guardiola, and we know how Pep likes to rotate. So if you're starting for Pep Guardiola, it's probably because you are good and you're probably nailed on. You could go for Dogu as well as a differential, but I think I'll be keeping Reinders in my team because he's an absolute baller. Erling Haaland is the reason why I'm doing the wildcard in the first place, so I'm really not going to speak too much about him. Pep in the week did say that that he was recovering from a back injury or back pain or something. But to be honest, I think they're just trying to rest him for the midweek game, which is totally understandable. I'm in full support of that because I need him rested so that he can destroy Burnley on Saturday. And João Pedro and Mateta, they speak for themselves. Love the pair of them. And I like Mateta as a pick because he's on penalties. I know he plays Liverpool in this game week, but in game week 7, Palace are going to be playing Everton and Bournemouth after. So Mateta could be taken out, he could rotate, but I'm trying to use a bench boost in game week 7 and I feel like that's the best time to use it. So that is my team, Drewsby Hall and Dubravka, just filling up the gaps, but like Drewsby Hall as a player because he's going to be starting almost every game and he's on my bench. So that's why he's going to enable my bench boost in game week 7. So let me introduce you to a team I feel you should consider for game week 6. So guys, please, I'm going to look at the team with you guys. Take a good look at this team. Just take a good look at this team. This team has Raya, Gabriel, Senesi, and Van de Ven. The backline is secured for life. It has Salah, Semenyo, Ndiaye. Ndiaye is on penalties and has been promising for Everton this season. Fantastic player. Reinders and Kudus. Beautiful midfield. João Pedro and Haaland. The two strikers that have turned up throughout this season. This is a beautiful team. This team, you have captaincy options. You can rotate however you want. You can do anything you want for the next 5 game weeks. The only thing I don't like about this team is when you have a team or a starting 11 as strong as this, your bench cannot be the same. To be honest, this bench is not even that bad. The only player that's on the bench that is hopeless and useless is Guiu. Every other player, Dubravka is going to always play for Burnley. Rondon and Goodmanson are always going to turn up for Leeds. And Leeds are no pushover, to be honest. I like the way they've been playing. The promoted sides this year, Leeds, Sunderland, even the Burnley that are hopeless, have been giving Premier League teams a run for their money. So I'm really happy with that bench. I'm not sold on a Haaland and Salah draft just yet. Eventually, after I use my bench boost in 7, I'm going to start looking at Salah to try to pivot away from him, especially when maybe Xavi Simons, or just to see how Thomas Frank actually handles him. Maybe if Xavi Simons is not starting regular minutes or something, I'll just go straight to Salah. Initially, Gakpo was the player that was there. I took out Gakpo because he plays Crystal Palace in game week 6, he plays Chelsea in game week 7, and plays Manchester United in game week 8. That's just a transfer waiting to happen, and I just had to just do it now since I'm on a wild card. But this team is a team I believe you should consider. It has Salah and Haaland. It has the best keeper and best backline for right now. I don't think there's anything you need to look at. However, let's look at a team with Alexander ISAK in it, since he's going to be a player you might want to consider for the near future. So this is the team with Alexander ISAK in it. It still maintains the goalkeeper, still maintains the defense. The only difference right here is the midfield, because now you have 3 attackers and you have Bruno Fernandes in there, Ndiaye, Semenyo, and Reinders. If you look at the bench of this team, the bench over here looks much better. You could actually do a bench boost on this team as well. So this is a very solid team. The Haaland and Salah one, obviously there's sacrifices with having a strong first team like that. And the bench, to be honest, because of the Leeds players, they actually put it in some weight. And yes, because of that, the bench is not horrible. Guiu over there, because he costs 4.3 or 4.7 right now. 4.3 I think, actually, because he was a 4.5 million pound player. So he cost 4.3, so he kind of enabled that team to work in a way. However, this is the other option you have if you wanted to go with Alexander ISAK in your team. So you have it, 3 wildcard teams that I've been able to give you. My personal wildcard team, along with my cheap strategy, I'm going to be using the bench boost in game week 7. Haaland and Salah, in case you needed to pivot to anyone, you have the luxury of owning the best 2 premium assets in game week 6 and going forward. And you also have ISAK right here, just in case you wanted to consider ISAK in your wildcard 6 team, because there's no Ekitike. So let's see if he plays 90 minutes. This is the only reason why I'm not bringing ISAK into my own team just yet, because we're not sure of his minutes and he's an expensive player. We know he's eventually going to start starting games for Liverpool, but we just need to be guaranteed of those minutes. So one thing I will say is that try to make FPL fun for yourself. Try to take some calculated risks here and there. it's not the end of the world if you have a bad game week. This is just game week 5, and I promise you we will see each other by the end of the road in game week 38, and you would see my rank there. My rank is horrible right now, but I'm just going to stand as living proof that your first 10 game weeks don't matter as long as you know what you are going or doing along the line going forward. This was a wildcard episode. I hope you got value from this video for your FPL teams. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched this far, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much again, and I'll see each other, or we will see each other on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, because I have pages on there open now. So if you want some short clips, updates, head over to those channels. Follow me over there too so you don't miss a beat, and we will catch each other in game week 7. Peace and love, guys.